Hi Libra, welcome to your love and relationship reading for the month of May. For those of you who are just now tuning in, these are generalized readings, so not everything in the reading may pertain to you. I am available to answer any questions as well as to do private readings upon request and can be reached at mantraflowtarot@gmail.com. I like to start off with a reading for my singles and then I move into a reading for my couples. So, Libra, it looks like you have gone through a significant unexpected change. Okay, this is the Knight of Swords, which represents where you are right now. We have the Eight of Swords. This has to do with what's covering you right now. And due to this sudden abrupt change, it really shook your core. And it's put you in a position where you feel as if you are stuck. Now, what's crossing you is the Ace of Wands. This is hope. This is trying to adjust to the situation, feeling like, you're being stuck and the only way to get out of this situation is to try different avenues, to move forward in a way that you haven't necessarily moved forward before. The next card is the Six of Wands, and this represents the foundation of this situation. And I think that one of the reasons why this situation, this change was so difficult for you is because you were in such a strong, sturdy, proud, secure space. And this was a situation that really shook the ground that you walk on. The next card is the King of Pentacles, and this represents the recent past. Now, this could indicate that you were with a very strong earth sign, someone who, you had a lot of respect for. But for whatever reason, it didn't work out. But I think that this situation definitely has to do with this King of Pentacles that was in your life, somebody who you thought that you were going to be able to move forward with, and now you have to, forge a new path. One of the things that we have to remember, especially when we're dealt with the life's ups and downs, is that we're fluid. And think of us as a moving stream going through different rocks and channels. When a rock gets in our way, we diverge a new path. Nothing can stop us. The only thing that's stopping us from moving forward is ourselves, and we have to remember that. And I think that's something that you're really channeling with, this Ace of Wands, this passion within, this light, this hope that you're burning within your soul. The next card is the Queen of Swords, and this represents your aspirations, and this has to do with being in a very honest, transparent space and expecting that with the people who you allow into your life. You really don't have time for nonsense, and you're not going to take anything that's not transparent or completely honest. And you're going to be very forthcoming and direct about this. And I think that can be very intimidating, for other people to be around such a strong personality. But the good thing about that is it's really going to weed out the type of people who you don't want in your life. The next card is the Moon, and this represents you in the near future. I really see you spending some time this month thinking about the situation, or really processing it and figuring out how to move forward. And you're going to be thinking a lot of the darker side of this situation, the pain that you felt, the whys. However, the outcome is the Two of Cups. And this indicates, a very strong emotional connection. And I think that this would indicate that the King of Pentacles is somebody who is going to come back into your life. And you two moving forward will be a very strong, powerful connection, and being able to move forward in a positive light and being able to see things from each other's perspectives. Okay, so with that said, I am going to move into a reading for my couples. And if you have any questions, please feel free to email me at mantraflowtarot. And I think the deck I'm going to use is this one. So it looks like you're dealing with some hardships. It looks like there could be issues of infidelity that's going on, a third party. And I believe that it's something that's happening on your end. So the first card in the spread, looks like my cards are kind of crooked, you guys. Sorry about that. Okay, so the first card in the spread represents what you're bringing into this relationship, and this is the Page of Wands. This has to do with you being in an open state of mind and you sort of in a learning phase. I don't think that you've had a lot of relationships such as this one before. There's a lot of passion, a lot of fire within, and I really think that when you entered into this relationship, it was literally a whirlwind type of romance that swept you off your feet. But what we have going on here is we have the Three of Swords, and this is where you are now in regards to the other person. This is a heartache card. This also indicates you trying to pick yourself up and going through a healing phase, but feeling like things are literally just falling apart. The next card is the Ten of Wands, and this is what you're hoping to get from this relationship. This could indicate that, up until this point, you've taken a lot of responsibility for the things that have happened within. In fact, I think that you are blaming yourself for the situation with this third party, which has come into this relationship, that you were literally feeling the weight of this on your back. And this could also indicate that you're contemplating, whether or not to leave this situation. The next card is the Five of Pentacles, and this represents what the other person is bringing into this relationship. I think that when you first met this person went through a lot of struggles, but it didn't matter to you because you felt this overwhelming sense of emotional connection and was literally swept off your feet. But I also think that this individual, there's a third party at play, which is tempted. This relationship. A situation where you feel like this other person's really diverted your partner's attention, and you're in a lot of pain because of it. The next card is the Four of Swords, and this indicates what they're getting out of this relationship. Your partner is spending a lot of time thinking about this situation. In fact, I think that your partner's overthinking this situation. It's time, to rest. It's time to put this aside, set it aside. And instead of thinking about what happened, it's time to start thinking about how to move forward. The next card is the Queen of Swords, and this is a perfect card for moving forward because this is all about honesty and sort of like channeling this rawness within, and this is a very direct card, so I really feel like your partner is really challenging, this type of open relationship. Your partner wants to work this out with you. The next card is the High Priestess, and this represents how you see your partner. You see your partner as somebody who can sometimes be difficult to communicate with. Your partner is present, but your partner has a hard time opening up, which is very interesting because we have the Queen of Swords, which is a very honest, direct type of card. But you see your partner as not being completely forthcoming, that there are lots of different layers, and your partner doesn't make it easy to, get all the different layers exposed. Okay, it takes some work, and I think that your partner has a hard time doing that because of the different vulnerabilities that we have from within, and I think that always stems from a place of hurt. The next card is the Fool, and this represents how your partner sees you, and I really think that this indicates your partner wanting to have a fresh start with you, wanting to move forward. The outcome is the Hermit. This has to do with doing some soul searching. deciding whether or not you are able to move forward with this relationship or not. It's going to take some introspection and reflection. And I think a lot of times, this also indicates that, when you're in a world of pain, you can isolate yourself, and maybe there's a lack of communication that's also going on your part. But I believe it's because you feel that, this person can be difficult to communicate with in general. So I'm going to pull 3 more cards and see if a reconciliation if it looks like you guys are going to continue on and get through this. It doesn't look like you guys are going to be able to get past this situation. 9 of Pentacles expresses independence and strength from within, and standing on your ground, being alone. The 4 of Pentacles also indicates, being in a very protective state, protective of yourself. And I think it's because of this situation with this third party. And the 3 of Swords, we have, some heartache that's going on here as well. So with that said, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to email me at mantraflowtarot@gmail.com. Thanks, you guys.